What's up, YouTube? This is Sam from Tyke Schooling, and today we're talking about the cardiovascular system. And in this topic, the cardiovascular system, we're going to talk about how the blood travels from your whole body to your heart and to lungs, and then circulate back towards your body. And in the end, we'll talk about the functions of your whole circulatory system. So this is a brief video. Keep in touch and grab the topic. So first we'll move to the understand the heart, and then we'll understand the lungs, how the blood move in these two places, and then we'll understand the whole circulatory system. So first you have to understand that your body contains two types of blood, like two types. What I mean by that, you have the oxygenated blood and the deoxygenated blood. So the oxygenated blood is actually coming from lungs to your heart and traveling back to your body, and deoxygenated blood coming back from your body. But if you see this picture, the blue markers show the arteries are the main aorta, the main arteries, which are the main veins. The main veins, which are shown in blue, these vessels actually contained in blue color, they are deoxygenated, showing deoxygenated blood, and the red color shows that they have oxygenated blood. So the first thing, what happens, consider that the blood is coming from your feet up till moving upwards in blue veins, and from above the head also coming down towards your heart. So the first stage is blood moving towards heart. So when the blood reaches toward heart, from upside it comes through the superior vena cava. This is your superior vena cava, and from below it comes from the inferior vena cava. And these both vena cava are actually big vessels, big tube-like vessels, which contain deoxygenated blood coming from your whole body. They open into this chamber called right atrium, and both the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava open into the right atrium. From right atrium, what happens, this blood, which is deoxygenated, moves towards the right ventricle. So from right ventricle, where does the blood have to go now? So what happens, as this enters here into right ventricle, now move to this picture. So this picture, consider this is your right ventricle. This is your right atrium. This is your right ventricle. Blood comes there. And again, the right ventricle pushes the blood above into the pulmonary circulatory system, in the pulmon, in your lungs. As they push the blood into your lungs, the blood moves into the lungs. You can see this is still the deoxygenated blood. This is moving toward in the lungs, and in the lungs the blood, which is deoxygenated, loses its carbon dioxide into lungs and gains or attaches the oxygen with its hemoglobin and comes back. So the blood going, losing its carbon dioxide and accepting oxygen and becoming oxygenated blood, and moves back to your right atrium. So this moving back to your left atrium. So this is your left atrium. The blood moves back to your left atrium, coming all the way from your lungs. And from left ventricle, the blood comes back to your left ventricle. Compare this left ventricle and right ventricle. The left ventricle is much thicker. The muscles of left ventricle is much thicker. This is due to a reason that the blood has to be pushed all the way to the whole body. So as the oxygenated blood returns to the left ventricle again pumps, which is a systole push. Again, it pushes the left ventricle, pushes the blood into the aorta, the major artery, and from aorta it moves all the way to your whole body. If you can see this picture, this is your main aorta. As the blood goes this way, and again it pushes the blood all the way to your body. So this is how we have the lecture on the branches of aorta. You can see them in attached files and in search bar. And this is all about the circulatory system, how the blood moves in your system. Now, if we talk about the functions of your circulatory system, we have got, you have to understand the circulatory system is important because, number one, it supplies oxygen and the substance to the tissues. Like the blood has to keep on moving in order in order for it to supply oxygen to the whole body, because from lungs it's bringing oxygen and moving it onwards. And in the similar way, the blood returns back the metabolic vest and what we call carbon dioxide back to your lungs, and from lungs carbon dioxide exhaled out. And again, the other thing is your blood, which is moving in the circulation, the circulatory system also. You have to understand, if the teacher asks you how many parts of circulatory system are there are three parts. You have got the heart, you have got the big vessels, and you have got the blood. So your circulatory system also maintains your or regulate your body temperature. It distributes the hormones and other substances that regulate your cell function, and also it maintains the proper ionic concentration, and thus it's the main part. It plays a major part in homeostasis, keeping your body in normal condition, in maintaining your body. So this is a lecture on a quick review of the cardiovascular system. If you want to know anything about this lecture, please let us know in the comment, and in the next video we'll talk about the functional part of circulation, which will be talk about little bit detail about arteries, arterioles, capillaries, venules, and veins, and all that. So see you in the other video. Let us know in the comments. See you soon. Keep visiting Tykes Schooling.